Welcome to the NEC big game for this Winfield Cup Round 1 match in the opening weekend of the Premiership season. Balmain versus the title holders, Canterbury-Bankstown. Today's match from Leichhardt Oval, Balmain's home ground. Well, the Tigers again in 86 are led by Wayne Pearce and have their sights set firmly for the season ahead. The team today is Jack, Davidson, Conlon, Bevan, Gartner, Bridge, Gale, Pearce, Mackay, Brooks, Roach, Elias and Hemsley. And the coach, Frank Stanton. Steve Mortimer captains the Bulldogs, and their goal is to try and capture their third straight premiership title. The Bulldogs' full team readout is Potter, Peter Mortimer, Farah, Mullane is in for Chris Mortimer, Callanan, Hagan, Steve Mortimer, Langmack, Folkes, Gillespie, Doyle in for Dunn, Johnston and Tunks, and their coach is still Warren Ryan. The referee for this Leichhardt Oval Clash of the Giants is Graham Annesley. Balmain from right to left then, and Ross Conlon kicks off our first Winfield Cup Premiership telecast of the year. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy it right through to grand final day. Langmack to play it. The breeze behind Canterbury in the first 40 minutes. That's Doyle in 24. Breeze coming up off the river. Gillespie surviving a would-be tackle by Ben Elias. Hemsley was the man who made it. Oh, good tackle. Arms, legs, everything went into it from Pearce on Langmack. I called it as good because I firmly believe it to be a legitimate tackle. What I was in fact saying was he hit him with everything bar the kitchen sink. There's the NEC replay of the tackle from Pearce, that fellow on Langmack. In fact, talking of Langmack, he's become known as one of the biggest tacklers in the game. And that was a case of giving some of it back. There's Andrew Farah, the kicker. He's a giant of a man these days. Peter Tunks goes ahead for Canterbury-Bankstown. Three-man Balmain tackle, Hemsley, Roach and Conlon. This is Peter Mortimer, almost to the halfway line. Dummy half Billy Johnston in the 12. 24 is Doyle, got away from a high tackle from McCabe, and McCabe will have to go lower. This is Farah now, stabbing the ball down to the 22 for Gary Jack. Johnston over the top of him, Mortimer in the middle. Crowd not liking it. This is Davidson. Gale, Roach. Oh, Canterbury coming up very quickly. Roach tried to get up and play it. He's given the penalty, so he should. Scott Gale finding the line, just a couple of metres into Canterbury's area. No score after 3 minutes. Bridge turning them around. Gale gives chase. Potter's underneath it. He's about 8 metres out from his own line. It's Matthew Callanan. Came on the rugby league scene, first grade wise anyway, at the end of last year. Matthew Callanan on camera at the moment. Again, you see the price you pay for high tackling. Gillespie brushing them away like flies. Joining me in 1986, as was the case in the previous year, two of Rugby League's most respected commentators, Bill Anderson and Graham Hughes. Firstly, Bill, how do you see this one going?
Well, Balmain had some defensive lapses on Wednesday night in their National Panasonic Cup game, but I still think they'll be good enough today to get the money, the Tigers to win.
Canterbury-Bankstown inside the 5, penalty to Balmain, right on the halfway. Gale's asking Conlon the question. Pearce comes in. It'll be a nice kick if he gets it. He's into the breeze.
And this is one of the reasons why I think they'll win.
Well, there's Ross Connolly standing about a metre into Canterbury side of the halfway. There's a nice long shot for you, which probably exaggerates the exercise at hand. He's right in the middle of the park, well, give or take 5 or 6 metres. He's got the breeze into him. Graham, how strong is it, would you say?
Well, Ray, the breeze is whipping up, and only now and then, if you can see the top of the flags at present at Canterbury's end of the ground, those flags have started to die somewhat, so Ross might be trying to pick his spot and just pick a time when this wind dies on himself.
Well, there's an example of what you were talking about as Conlon comes in. 48-metre kick right in front. He doesn't mind the look of it. Oh, it's hit the uprights and bounced back into the field of play. Doyle goes away in 24. So with Canterbury, your old club, rucking it out from their own line, Graham, do you think they'll win this one?
Well, Ray, their last official game, of course, was the grand final last year. I can't go against them. But I think if they are going to win today, the men that are getting very, very involved in this first 5 minutes are guys like Folkes, Gillespie and Langmack, the back rowers. They're going to have big games.
All right. Nice to work with you again, Graham, in 86. Same to you, Bill. Here we go with Farah given the ball, given the chance to clear with the kick, but the defence, the charge down attempt was on straight away, and Farah takes the tackle on 5. Across for Steve Mortimer now. He gets the kick in. It's going deep down to the 22 line, straight to Gary Jack, and the Australian fullback is on the run. This is Gardner. Around an opposite number. In fact, it wasn't his opposite number. It was big Peter Tunks doing his darndest to make a tackle. Elias holds it back. Folkes makes the tackle. McCabe has to loft it across the top. Pearce is in possession. He's 10 metres into Canterbury's area. Looks for support in vain. Nice piece of football there. Good passage of play from the time Mortimer kicked it. Now it's Elias. Gale. Out through to Gary Bridge now. Gary Jack running decoy. That's a Shepherd. No question about it. The defence was obstructed. Minor grades for you, reserves. Balmain 30, Canterbury 24, and under 23s, a more realistic result, I suppose, 8-6 to Canterbury.
Might be worth mentioning also, Ray, that in that reserve grade game, Terry Lamb, the 5'8 for Canterbury-Bankstown reserves today, came off at half-time, so he'll be a fresh replacement for Warren Ryan at some stage of this first grade game.
This is Greg Mullane. He's tackled just outside the quarter-way mark, middle of the ground, Balmain's end. Here's Doyle, tackle with the ball now. He's got a big job on his plate today. Canterbury with a couple of forwards over in England, and of course Dunn with a hamstring injury, and Doyle's the man that, well, he was cut by Canterbury at the end of 85, and Warren Ryan called him back just 2 weeks ago to train for 86, and I see he's limping too, which is going to amplify his problems. This is Peter Mortimer now, 5 metres out from the Balmain line. The referee has the hand in the air. That's 5 tackles gone. Little attempt at a grubber kick by Stevie Mortimer. Was nicely taken in there by number 19, Gary Bridge for Balmain. Here's Hemsley coming away with it. Balmain down on their own 10-metre line. Here's Roach. Bit of a dust-up in there. Gillespie and Roach, and hello, little Benny Elias has gone in, and now they've erupted. Both teams going in from all over the park. Still going on. Any closer, Graham, and you might have copped one yourself on the whiskers.
Well, Ray, this is silly. Early on, we saw Benny Elias hauled out for a caution. You know, he's been out for a long time. He should be easing himself into the action if he's going to last the distance here. He's the man that caused that, as I saw it. It has settled down, and Roach certainly wasn't going to go on with Gillespie, but Benny should find himself in a lot of trouble for this.
Well, here's the two big men, Gillespie and Roach. They're going to work it out, and then little Benny Elias, he's decided, well, I'll get in for some of this action. Reminded me very much of Tommy Bishop and John O'Neill in the 1973 grand final. Tommy put one on Lurch's whiskers and then took off for the M.A. Noble stand corner. He went for safety, little Tommy. Frank is probably saying, I hope that meningitis has completely gone from Ben's makeup. Replacement going on for Canterbury. This will probably be for Doyle. Who is it, Graham?
It's John Elias from reserve grade. He has a number change too, Ray, so you won't be able to pick him up in the program. He's wearing number 50.
So 50 is on. That's John Elias, and Chris Doyle is off. Meantime, the powwow continues as Doyle limps from the ground. I got a feeling Balmain's going to get this penalty. Has he already given it? Well, Benny Elias has been given 10 minutes in the bin. And that doesn't surprise anybody, I don't think, other than the most ardent Balmain supporters. The two captains being spoken to.
I think Steve Mortimer would be querying how did Balmain get a penalty and then a player in the sin bin.
Well, I didn't see what provoked Steve Roach, but I can tell you that he let one go when he was lying on his back, which is not a very good tactic. If you're lying on your back, you don't start throwing a bunch of fives. So we're back to the action. That's David Brooks. Hemsley. Penalty to Balmain against Canterbury inside the 5. No score, 11-minute marker, first half. The NEC big game. And great to renew our association with what has been a wonderful sponsor for us. And certainly a great sponsor for the game of rugby league. Bridge, Gale, Hemsley. The big fellow not getting back far enough and getting into it. He was almost standing still and he made himself an easy mark. Brooks thought about giving it to Jack but held it back. Gale, Bridge. It's not a badly placed kick. Potter's got a long run. The backs are coming down very quickly. Potter's going to cop it here. Or did he ever? That was a neatly placed kick by Gary Bridge. Here it is coming down for Potter. He had little time to take protection. Conlon the tackler. Mullane plays it in front of his own uprights. Here's Callanan. I can see over the back of the ground, Farah is getting some attention. Top right-hand corner of your screen. Mortimer. Again, Jack going back to his own quarter and beyond. Peter Mortimer and Greg Mullane holding the progress of Gary Jack. Here's Bridge. Farah still getting some attention.
If Balmain follow the pattern that they've been adopting in this game, they'll only hit it up for 1 or 2 rucks and then they'll be looking to spread the ball. The last six tackles they had it, they moved the ball very quickly to the right-hand side, then back to the left-hand side. They obviously think the holes are out wide, and here they go again. This time they lost ground in possession.
Michael Hagan making the tackle, a good clean-up tackle on Brooks. McCabe, I'm surprised he's here today, actually, Paul. He took a very heavy hit on Wednesday night, but he's made a rapid recovery. Gale to clear. Big kick sending Potter backpedaling inside his quarter. Now he's outside it. He's down to the 40-metre line. Brooks the tackler. Callanan. Sideline comment, Graham Hughes.
Well, Ray, just some news from the Canterbury bench. Andrew Farrell's back up on his feet. He's taken a heavy knock, but they have called for the doctor, and they're going to try and check him in the run of play for a possible cheekbone fracture.
Well, that's terrible news. Should it prove positive. Here's a bust made by Folks, and then a wild-looking pass. I know he had plenty on his plate, but he had 2 runners to pick from. The pass went to ground. This is Bevan. Pearce losing it. So a scrum just on the Canterbury side of the halfway. Elias is packed into the second row. Gillespie into the front.
I suppose there must have been some temptation for Warren Ryan to put Terry Lamb to lock and move Langmack into the second row.
Mullane. Still no score in this, the first of our NEC big games for 1986. Balmain and Canterbury. Tunks. A hot day. It's certainly not going to be pleasing these big forwards very much. And the crowd basking in beautiful sunshine, but I'd say just a bit too hot for some of the big men. Here's Davidson. Now Greg Balmain is going to be called out for this tackle on John Davidson. Three straight penalties to Balmain. Let's see what happens here. He's bound to give a penalty to Balmain. Meantime, it gives Andrew Farrer a chance to have the doctor check him out. Mullane has been sent to the sin bin for 10. I didn't like the look of Andrew Farrer when they put a bit of pressure on those cheekbones. Well, the only thing I'm going to say, and it applies to Benny Elias and to Greg Mullane, a total lack of discipline. Terry Lamb getting some instructions from his coach. Bridge through Gale, a short ball for Hemsley. Kerry Hemsley just quite hasn't got his timing right. He's not hitting that ball at the right time. Here's Gale. It's understandable, of course, this time of the year. Well, Hagan's on the ground. He's not 100%. But Canterbury's got huge problems now. Hagan, I notice, limping on his left ankle as he goes back, as the ball spins to Bevan, and Bevan's into touch.
Farrer's coming from the field now.
Here's the tackle that ended that passage of play. Terry Lamb on the ground, and Andrew Farrer has been brought away for further examination of a suspected cheekbone fracture. Cheering in the background is for Benny Elias making his way back onto the park. As Balmain bring it out from inside their own 22, a heavy tackle up the top by Tunks. Elias was down low. As we take it at Graham Hughes, he's with the injured Canterbury player Paul Dunn. Gardner making a long run down the sideline. An infield pass, it'll be play on. It's been touched in flight. Bevan across the ground. Bridge is going to come right across, and he throws a big dummy, a huge dummy, and goes on to score. The first try of the match, the first try of our telecasts in NEC big games. Well, what a try. About 75 metres of it. It was all sheer excitement when Russell Gardner got away from this attempted tackle by Matthew Callanan. Callanan went high, paid the penalty very dearly. The lofted ball went in ground. It doesn't matter where it bounces, whether it bounces forward, backwards or sideways. It was thrown backwards. Bevan speared it to Bridge. Then Bridge, he throws his almighty dummy, very much like a bloke I know from Parramatta did in a grand final one day. And then he took off for the corner, and that was the end of the section.
Well, Balmain here exploited the fact that Canterbury-Bankstown was short out wide. Roach stood in a tackle and lofted a good pass across to Gardner. He pushed off Callanan with a left-hand fend, looked infield. The pass could have gone astray here, but Bevan scooped up the ball. He fired it back onto Bridge. Bridge faked a pass on the inside. You'll see here that Steve Morton was the man that fell for the dummy on the inside. He held off. Bridge speared for the corner, and in he goes for a great Balmain try.
So number 19, Gary Bridge, the try scorer, and according to the selectors, he wasn't good enough to be in the side to run on last Wednesday. He soon turned all that around. He turned the match around, in fact, on Wednesday night, and now he's picked up the first try today. Conlon from the sideline. It's beautiful. Oh, it went straight as a dart. Beautiful kick by Conlon. Balmain 6, Canterbury nothing. 22 minutes gone. first half as Terry Lamb kicks off for a Canterbury side that has been shuffled and shuffled some more, with injury to Doyle, injury to Farah, and Greg Mullane is in the sin bin. Now, I do apologise to Graham Hughes for keeping Paul Dunn this long, but it always seems to happen, doesn't it, Graham?
Yes, thanks, Ray. Paul, major injuries, it looked like. Could be with Andrew Farah. Certainly unbalanced the side.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that it had to happen that early in the game, because, you know, we're trying to get off to a good start for the year. We've got Kel and myself out, and now Doyle might be out for a while.
Well, what about your own injury? We see a great kick there from Balmain. What about your own injury, Paul? How long have you been out?
Only this week. It's just a slight tear, and the doctor advised me not to play this week rather than tear it again this week and be out for a while longer.
And you can't afford to be out for too long on this Canterbury side?
No, not with Kel coming back. Try and get that ahead before he does.
Good luck with your new team.
Thanks a lot.
So in the interim, we saw Balmain finding touch. Steve Mortimer comes up with the feed. And a penalty goes to Balmain. And I do believe he penalised not that man, the number 12, but the near side prop. It seemed to be the indication from the referee. So an ideal chance for the Tigers to go further in front.
Let's just keep our eye on Gary Jack here. He's looming behind the play the ball, and a couple of times last year Balmain put on a set play and picked him up on the inside of the ruck, and it was very effective.
Well, this man has been held back. David Brooks was definitely held back. He's talking to his touch judge. Let's see what he's going to do here. Stevie Mortimer's rushed in. There's no doubt that Brooks was held back. I'm not so sure that he wouldn't have scored a try. The referee, of course, has got to be of the belief that he most definitely would have scored.
If he hadn't, he'd certainly been right in there in the running.
Well, one thing's got to happen. He's got to get a penalty. At the very worst, he's marked the spot.
That's a penalty try.
He's given the penalty try. Penalty try to David Brooks of Balmain. That's the way it is. He marked the spot with his touch judge. Well, Canterbury are wishing to goodness Sunday the 9th of March has never come. The way things are going here. Referee Graham Annesley, a sensational decision. He's given a penalty try. When I say sensational, I'm not for one moment saying that he's made a mistake. I'm blowed if I know who was going to stop David Brooks getting a hand to it. And if that's the case, in the mind of the referee, he was obligated to give a penalty try. Conlon eats this stuff up for breakfast. Right in front, 8 metres out. 12 points to 0. 12-0. Balmain leading in the NEC big game. Steve Folkes on camera. Just go down a bit under his thighs. By Jove, he looks like he's filled out, Steve. He's, of course, the part owner of a gymnasium, and I think he might have been working overtime in the gym in the off-season. This is Mullane. Potter. Steve Mortimer. Elias. Tunks. Mortimer. Lamb. Davidson will cover this. Oh, Potter! Potter's taken the ball like a thief in the night, and he's off to score. Well, John Davidson hangs his head in disgust. But as he was trying to defend himself against the tacklers, Potter just simply took the ball and off he went for a try. Quite unexpected, I might say.
When you're held in a tackle, the most important thing is you hang on to the ball, even if your head was getting ripped off. But here, Davidson fought in the tackle rather than just sitting down and taking it. He tried to fight his way free, and he was milked of the ball by Mick Potter. You can see he put his hands in here, and he comes away with it. There's no defence at home, and it's just a matter of shut the gate as Potter crosses the line, and over he goes for Canterbury's opening points.
Well, Canterbury absolutely needed that try. It was almost a necessity for them to put something on the board before half-time. We're 7 minutes away from that point. And just when everything seemed all right in the Tigers' camp, Canterbury are on the board, and in fact should be only 6 behind after Lamb takes this kick. There it is, straight over the black and gold dot at Leichhardt. And the score indeed is 12 points to 6 in favour of Balmain over Canterbury. Straight down to the try scorer, Michael Potter. Dally M Player of the Year 2 seasons back. Of course, the Dally M's kicking off on Friday night. A joint rugby league promotion by Channel 10 and the Daily Mirror. Judges at all the grounds, and of course culminating in the gala presentation night at the end of the year. Current Dally M Player of the Year, of course, is Greg Alexander. This is Matthew Callanan. Wednesday night in the National Panasonic, you'll see Parramatta play Illawarra. The match is at Campbelltown's Orana Park. Davidson would still be thinking about the Potter try as he fields that kick.
He held the ball very tightly in 2 hands on that occasion.
Jack. 12-6. Balmain with 2 tries to 1.
Well, that was another example of Kerry Hemsley's timing being right off. He's trying to get the ball too early rather than getting deep, timing his run off the dummy half rather than the person playing it and hitting onto the ball.
McCabe, oh, intercepted by Mullane. Away to Folkes, steps off his right, off his left, 10 metres from the line. Canterbury coming from 12-0 and now looking like they might level up.
And Balmain have gone to sleep.
Hagan. Langmack keeps up the wrap out to the left. Tackled 8 metres out from the Balmain line. Dummy half Terry Lamb. David Gillespie across to Callanan. Taken ball and all by Gartner. They'll spin it back now across the park to the right. Tunks takes it to ground. 10 metres out, 10 metres in. Lamb puts up a bomb. It's in the field of play and Gary Jack takes it magnificently. It'll be a line dropout. You'll see this bomb is taken by Gary Jack. It is not a part of the new rule. You'll see that he's in the field of play when he takes it. He leaves the grass from the actual playing field and then is forced in goal. So it's a line dropout.
Well, Balmain got a dream start to this game. I don't think they could believe their luck. But what's happened since then is they've almost behaved as if the game's over. They've gone to sleep and they've let Canterbury-Bankstown get right back into this.
Potter. Mortimer. Hagan. Oh, that ball was badly directed across to Matthew Callanan. Scrum will go down about 30 metres away from the Balmain line. Who would have thought you'd hear a comment such as this? Balmain, in the last 10 minutes, have become complacent against the defending premiers. It just wasn't a contest until Potter stole that ball, and now Balmain have just got to be woken up. They get a penalty here. Yes, that'll be an historic match down at Orana Park Wednesday night. I certainly hope all you people in that satellite city at Campbelltown can get down there and have a look at Illawarra play Parramatta on Wednesday. Next Sunday, of course, is a big day. The first league telecast from the new stadium up at up at Balmain. Here's Gale now. Long ball, Bevan. Conlon.
That's where the Tigers are trying to find the holes. 3 and 4 passes out. And that's okay, provided you do the hard work in the middle of the ruck early.
Here's Bevan. Roach. Five tackles gone. As Balmain put a kick in, it's going to find touch. It does. Just 2 metres away from the line. Only about 90 seconds of the first half remaining as we see the NEC replay of this kick in general play that finds the line just a metre out. Steve Mortimer to feed. Hemsley picks up the loose head. And Canterbury win the scrum. Mortimer. Potter. Langmack. This is Hagan. Hagan! He beat Kerry Hemsley pointlessly. Benny Elias has come up with it for Balmain. 20 seconds of time remaining. Here's the pass. Just when we thought it was going blue and white, it came up with the black and golds. Again, an early changeover of possession. Langmack gets it out the back dubiously, and Elias it is with the ball for Canterbury. Only a matter of 1 tackle remaining, I would think, in this first half, as Matthew Callanan is grasped right on the halfway line. It's gone to Terry Lamb, over to Steve Mortimer. Peter Mortimer's tackled by Ross Conlon. As the siren sounds, that's the end of the first half. A sensational half in many ways, with Balmain leading Canterbury 12 points to 6. Here's Graham Hughes on the sidelines.
Well, Ray, in the first match, as you would expect, plenty of mistakes. Balmain have allowed Canterbury back into the game. That could prove fatal. A reshuffled Canterbury outfit in this second half, but with Mortimer driving them, you can't write them off. The wind, well, that may play its part too, and look for a big kicking game from Scott Gale and Gary Bridge.
Balmain 12, Canterbury 6. As we come back to Leichhardt to resume what has been a very controversial match in many ways. A penalty try, 2 players to the sin bin. Canterbury losing 2 of their players in the first half. Andrew Farrer and Chris Doyle, both replaced with injuries. As Scott Gale loses the ball behind him. Scott playing in jumper number 6. Playing at half-back, Gary Bridge in 19 at 5'8". I should explain that to some of you. When the team plays a Wednesday night, they have already given their team to Big League on the Tuesday. And, of course, Balmain has changed since Wednesday night, and that's the reason you see players in the wrong jumpers. Here's Roach. Good ball by Roach. Hemsley didn't do quite so well, and Canterbury come back with the ball.
Very ordinary play by Balmain, and it would disappoint their coach Frank Stanton. They've got a lead of 12 to 6. They're running now with what's turned into quite a strong breeze, and I think what Stanton would have been looking for was to kick the ball downfield and hold Canterbury down in their own quarter. Balmain pushed the pass. They looked to make yardage running the ball, and they've of course forfeited possession with the drop pass.
Folks. Top tacklers, Balmain 16 for Pearce and Canterbury 12 for Folkes. As Canterbury spread the ball nicely, Mullane has gone away from Gartner, who comes again with Pearce to pull him down. Mortimer. Tunks. And that ball has been fielded by Bevan. Roach. Out to the 22. Gale. Hemsley.
I don't think that's good play at all in your own quarter to hit the ball up off a first receiver. It means when the defence hits you, you're not going to be getting over the advantage line. You're far better to take it straight off the dummy half flat.
Elias's kick has been fielded by Potter. Callanan. Mortimer, his brother Peter. Lamb. Hagan. That left thigh of his heavily bandaged. Tunks. It's a good tackle by Benny Elias. A perfect example of how, doesn't matter how big they are, they can't run without legs. As this ball goes off a Balmain player into touch.
Just wondering what the rule is on that one. It came off McCabe's foot and whether that's classified as a kick or not.
Potter.
Oh, and Lamb's been felled in the back play by Paul Bevan.
I'm not so sure that it's been seen by a touch judge, but Canterbury play on as they should. Stevie Mortimer. Now it's with Greg Balmain. He's still going, Greg. A good run by Canterbury. A good passage of play for them. Played ahead by Greg Balmain. Balmain are going to have to do something very shortly. I think it's too late. He's looking over the top of it. No try. Still Canterbury with a chance to score, and I think, no, he's lost the ball. Billy Johnston must have lost the ball. Let's have a look at Billy Johnston going for the line, and he obviously somewhere along the passage lost it. Balmain coming up with the ball. Scott Gale. Here's Pearce. McCabe. Roach. Three forwards have fanned it across the ground. They're going to use another one. No, Benny Elias decides to drop it onto the boot. Potter will take it back. Away from Brooks. Gartner and Elias left to make the tackle. Callanan. 12-6, no score added in the second half. Peter Mortimer. Greg Balmain. Lamb. Ball is going to stop in the in goal, I would think. Just making the dead ball line, so it'll come out to the 22 for the restart. Hemsley. Bridge. Elias. Here's Gale. Haven't seen Gale make a clean break. The breaks that we're accustomed to seeing Scott Gale making. I'm wondering whether the zip's gone off his acceleration. This kick is getting very, very close. Well, it's taken the corner post. part of the in-goal area. Back now for the 22-place kick to restart. And Gillespie it is who has played it. It's gone through 3 sets of hands, 4 sets of hands, and Callanan drops it.
Even first graders have got to keep their eye on the ball.
Pearce. Gale. That's McCabe. There's Gary Jack. Good ball. Well read by the Canterbury defence, however. Peter Mortimer. Conlon. This is Davidson. Davidson almost to the try line. 2 metres out. A try here for Balmain will almost certainly send Canterbury packing for today. Across to big Steve Roach. Roach gets it out the back. Oh, McCabe put it down.
Still on out to the right.
Still going for Balmain. Gary Bridge to Russell Gardner. Russell Gardner's going to go even further in field to score. So Balmain rejoicing as they score their 3rd try. The NEC replay as Roach got a ball inside to McCabe. I doubt that McCabe even got a hand to it. There was a hint of a knock-on. Benny Elias played to the whistle. So did Gary Bridge, and eventually Russ Gardner was in to score. He's had a good game today, Russell Gardner, and he's been rewarded with a try.
I thought that Steve Roach might have bombed this one. It was always on out wide, but Roach elected to step off the right foot and come back himself. He then realised he couldn't go any further, turned the ball back to McCabe. He dropped it, and it was Elias that scooped the ball up to that ever-present man, Gary Bridge, who's had a tremendous game today. He drew the defence in the form of Callanan, fired it on to Gardner. Gardner was able to shrug off Mortimer, who hit him in goal, and come round and improve his position for what I think is going to be the clincher.
Russ Gardner, the try scorer. And so the attempted conversion to be taken by Ross Conlon. 22 metres out, about 6 metres in from touch. Conlon's kick is a beautiful kick. I've seen some good goal kickers, but I've never seen one better than him. 18-6 in favour of the Tigers. Mountainous trouble here for Canterbury.
And we must remember that Frank Stanton's got some very good defensive players in the form of Kevin Hardwick and John Owens, who played in the reserve grade, and it mightn't be too long before he decides to really tighten this one up, bring off one of his attacking back rowers and put on some defence.
Gardner getting a beautiful ball by Steve Roach. He's coming ahead in leaps and bounds, Steve Roach. I know it's the first weekend of Winfield Cup Premiership Rugby League, but I'll tell you what, I've seen enough from him today to suggest that he's well and truly on his way to England. Scrum will go down inside the 22. Having said that, I hope I haven't hexed Stephen Roach. Benny Elias, the kicker in general play. Russ Gardner brought from the field of play. Stephen Humphries goes on in 14, just at the bottom of your screen now. There he is. He played very well in reserve, Stephen Humphries. But Gardner was having a blinder for Balmain. He was giving Matthew Callanan plenty to worry about, I'll tell you. Well done, Russ Gardner. Terry Lamb. This is Langmack. Because at my age, you like to see veterans doing well. This is Gillespie. Ooh. Good tackle by Brooks. Two of the game's hardest tacklers. Elias, nice step. In and away. Steve Mortimer over the halfway. Terry Lamb's with him. So is Elias. Good work by John Elias. That'll be play on if Canterbury get the ball. It's still play on. It's going to be a try. It's a try, I'd say, for Steve Folkes. Yes, good work, Canterbury. You played to the whistle and you've reaped the reward. A try for Steve Folkes. See it again. If you had any doubts, I'm sure you'll see that Balmain are the team to project this ball forward. Though it may have looked side on as though Canterbury had knocked on, Mr. Magic was down and got up again. Spilled his lollies but recovered. Got the ball to John Elias. What a part in the try this fella's played. That pass was off a Balmain hand. They lost it again. And then it was Steve Folkes. Did he ground the ball? That's the only question. There's the downward pressure on the ball. It's a try to Canterbury. And the Premiers are not beaten yet. Stephen Folkes, the try scorer. Replacements coming on now for Balmain. McCabe and Hemsley. Hemsley's already gone. There goes McCabe. So Bill Anderson has projected correctly that the coach would make replacements at about this time. He may be wishing he'd made them 2 minutes ago. Terry Lamb has the kick. Close proximity to the uprights. About 15 metres down the ground. He's got it. Terry Lamb picks up the extras, keeping Canterbury within a converted try of Balmain. 18-12 now. Conlon booting it down the ground. A Balmain player appeals for a knock-on from Callanan, but the referee said no, it came off his chest and not off his arms.
Well, he certainly lost the ball, but I feel that he regathered it before it hit the ground.
Here's Elias.
It's proving a fairly difficult customer to handle, Elias. It was really his try, the last one that Balmain scored. He made a tremendous break and then did it again. That Canterbury scored. He made a tremendous break and then backed up in the ensuing play, and he almost split the line again there.
Steve Mortimer chips over the top. David Brooks was awake to it. Good cleaning up there by Dave Brooks. Elias floating it out for Humphreys. He's lost it over the touchline. Graham, who are the fresh second rowers for Balmain?
Bruce Maguire in 10, Ray, and Kevin Harwick in 21.
Penalty to Balmain. Again, Mortimer appeals to the referee for an explanation.
Well, you don't mind some fairly hot feeds, but that one was red hot.
Now, this is Maguire in 10. He had a case of the dropsies on Wednesday night.
The last time Balmain were in an attacking position from a tap in Canterbury's quarter, we said to keep our eye on Gary Bridge, and he might just be the man worth watching again.
They go two into the middle for Jack to come down the blind side. 15 metres up. Humphreys the dummy half. Benny Elias, short ball for Brooks. Now Hardwick is getting ready. He's going to try and run off Roach, who goes to within 2 metres. That's the 5th tackle gone. They may try the cross-kick bomb here. Gale holds it back, gets a kick in. Picked up from an onside position by Brooks, but there was a knock-on there. Graham Hughes with grand final hero Peter Kelly now.
Peter, they've clawed their way back into this game twice after those early injuries.
Yes, Graham, they're sticking to their guns, and Lady Luck's on Balmain's side today, unfortunately for us, but the boys are sticking with it.
The talk of injuries, how about that one of yours to groin? When are you likely to be back or close to full training with the team?
Well, I'm doing a fair amount of training now, and it looks as though I'll be back in about 3 weeks, I think.
OK, thanks, Peter.
Peter Kelly. As Canterbury get a very good chance to level up here. Long ball to Mortimer. Longer out to Lamb. He dummies to the second man. He brushes them off, the little fellow. Oh, so close, and yet so far. Terry Lamb to play it. Close to the line. Dived on by Greg Mullane. 3 metres out. Over to the blind side. A pretty wide blind for Gillespie. Time for Balmain to turn on the defence now. Long pass out to Hagan. Oh, a good tackle. Wayne Pearce came up very quickly.
Well, there you see Wayne Pearce at his best. When he hits them, he stops the ball dead.
Tunks now, picked up by Pearce and driven. Well, folks must have been very close to offside there, but they've lost the ball anyway. And Benny Elias comes up with it. The Balmain fans rejoice as Elias clutches at the back of the right leg. He's cramped. Elias, okay to resume. Pearce. Look out, a little bloke like Kevin Hardwick doesn't put the head down and burrow through here shortly. Here's Roach. There's the handling errors. 13 for Balmain, 10 for Canterbury. It's off the NEC computer. Brooks. Gale's kick will go out on the full. No change. 18-12 Balmain. 14 minutes of the match to go. Gale. Bridge. Very poor defence there by Canterbury. Roach. Hardwick. Gillespie hanging on grimly there to Hardwick as he tried to make a break. Gale. Bridge. Conlon. Conlon tackled about 8 metres on his own side of the halfway. 5 tackles gone. Bridge. Callanan going back for it. Brooks, the tackler, back on the Canterbury 22 line. Mortimer.
Come here.
Well, Roach jumped on Mortimer from behind. He's hurt one of his own players. Here's Canterbury throwing it around. Tunks goes to ground. 8 metres on his side of the halfway. 6 more tackles. Kevin Hardwick was on the end of the Steve Roach tackle. Actually, there was Mortimer between him and Hardwick, but he squashed him. So the referee is going to put a scrum down now. There's Hardwick back on his feet. He simply had no oxygen left in those lungs at all. Bridge. It's not a question of getting them on side, as one of the spectators suggested. Here's Jack now trying to wend his way between the defence that is standing very, very flat. Conlon. And a penalty goes to Balmain. Canterbury offside. So Conlon will take a kick for goal from 49 metres out. And he'd be about 20 metres in from touch. Steve O'Brien in jumper 15. He played in their 1984 grand final team, and he was one of their heroes, getting ready to come on. With the blood on his forehead, on his lip. He hits it. It doesn't look any good from here. It's wide, and it's been fumbled in goal by Callanan. So it's going to be a line drop out to restart. An unhappy day for young Callanan. Michael Potter is limping from the field. And Steve O'Brien has gone on.
I don't know that Canterbury-Bankstown have got a specialist fullback now. They're going to have to compromise, and that'll give Balmain more reason than ever to kick the ball.
Gary Jack. Stopped by Tunks. Gale across to Bevan. Roach. Conlon. Davidson. Right on the Canterbury 22. Elias. Bridge. Pearce. Pearce straining every muscle in his body to get that extra couple of metres. Gale. Roach. Not the sort of time for Steve Roach to get the ball. He needs to be wound right up. They might go for a drop goal here. I wonder, will they? Here's Gale. He was shaping for it. Now it's back with Brooks. He's going to have a go. It comes down to Matthew Callanan. (18-12) in favour of Balmain. 3 tries to 2. One of them a penalty try. O'Brien. Canterbury have been down on their own 22 for a good portion of time now. Here's Langmack. Folks. Well, they've got to get the kick in now. Lamb, no, they've decided to spray it across the line. Mortimer kicks into the centre of the ground. Gary Jack going back for it. Peter Mortimer coming down the field, putting everybody on side. And here's Jack tackled now, 15 metres out from his own line. The timeout. Gary Jack injured. O'Brien came on to replace Potter. And another penalty to Canterbury. You've got to stand adjacent if you're marking, or if you are the acting dummy half, you stand in line with the man playing the ball. Now let's see what he's done here. Well, the penalty he gave was for the markers not standing immediately behind one another. Maybe he could have got Elias for striking prematurely. This is O'Brien. 6 minutes out from the siren, and another penalty to Canterbury. He got Elias that time for lifting the foot in the play the ball contest prior to the ball being on the ground. See that? I don't know which foot he was talking about.
We could be in for a very interesting last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Wayne Pearce chatting to Benny Elias in not the most friendly terms. Here's O'Brien. Here's the penalties, 10-9 to the Tigers. Here's Hagan. Now Gillespie out very wide. Mortimer. Tunks. They're going to switch the play back to where it came from. I think they're going to put on a double switch. Now they've double switched themselves, but they've got 6 tackles to go. Came off a Balmain player. Mullane. You know, you can say what you like about this scoreline of 18-12 to Balmain, and I'm supposing that Balmain are going to win it. But Canterbury would come out of it, I would think, feeling fairly confident about any future meetings, because since they lost Farah and Doyle and the players they got out injured or overseas, they're going to be a very formidable looking side the next time they meet.
Every break there was to get today, I think that Balmain got. Canterbury-Bankstown had everything go against them, and on the scoreline they're still in this match.
Langmack is down. He's in a bit of pain. And that's the turnover of possession. Langmack's in a lot of pain out there as the ball sweeps across to Gary Bridge. Langmack's back on his feet. Is he clutching at a shoulder there? As the ball comes now to Bevan. Bevan getting up slowly. This is Jack. Elias. 5 minutes to go, just inside that. 18-12. Balmain hanging on to that lead as Bridge turns the Canterbury team around again. This time it's in the in goal, and Callanan has got to take it back. Humphries has got him, but he's back into the field of play. O'Brien. Mortimer, his brother Peter. Tackler Maguire in 10. He came on with a first-grade jumper on because he was in Wednesday's team. Here's Tunks to Mortimer, back around the corner to Johnston. Hagan throwing dummy after dummy. Roach has got him tied up. 5 tackles gone. Mortimer. His brother Peter again, and now it's been dropped by Matthew Callanan.
The young fellow's having a game he'll want to forget.
Penrith 22, West 18. I'd like to remind all children you're not permitted to come over the fence at the conclusion of this game, and we do appeal to all parents to keep their children on their side of the fence. Thank you.
So this week we've got the National Panasonic Parramatta versus Illawarra at Orana Park, Campbelltown. Our first ever for night football, certainly on television. And it's Scott Gale who'll play the ball now. Next Sunday, Saints and Para at Parramatta Stadium. Here's Davidson. Benny Elias. 15 metres out from the Canterbury line. Time ticking away as they go for the drop goal. Bevan can't get it off the ground. It hits Scott Gale on the rump. Elias comes away with the ball for Canterbury. On it goes to Terry Lamb. Don't tell me. Now it's Steve Mortimer. Now it's Paul Langmack. Langmack turns it back inside, but he was in two minds. He should have turned it the first time. Now Roach has hauled off and put one on. He's put one on Hagan's whiskers. That's stupid play by the big fellow.
It certainly is. Balmain in possession of the football with only a few minutes to go, and Roach has given away the penalty, and now Canterbury-Bankstown from this kick for touch will be in a great attacking position.
Gee, there's 3 players on this field today who should be made to write the word discipline out in capital letters 1,000 times. Stay in after school and do it. Crazy stuff. Tunks. Paul Langmack. Can the Bulldogs get one premiership point out of it? How long to go, would you say? A couple? No more. Here's the little kick by Mortimer. And Gale. Scott Gale, like a breath of fresh air, brings it down. There it is on the NEC replay. A little chip by Stevie Mortimer. I was waiting for the grubber, to be honest with you, but Scott Gale was there, equal to the test. And here's Humphries tackled now. 10 metres out. Hardwick. It's a good gain in ground. Very valuable stuff. Gary Jack. 5 tackles gone for the Tigers. Benny Elias. And he's kicked it nicely, and it's going to find the line. It does. Well, that's the ball game, I'd say. Unless, of course, somebody else. Well, there's the siren anyway. It's all over. It's all over. Balmain have won it by 18 points to 12. with 3 tries, one of them a penalty try to Bridge, Brooks and Gardner. Conlon kicked 3, and then Canterbury's 2 tries came from Potter and Folkes. Lamb kicked 2 goals.